Welcome back to the NPC Energy Podcast. Think about that moment when you're about to stream something you've been waiting for. That little spinning circle, the progress bar inching forward.
Buffering, we all know it.
That's buffering, right? Today, that simple idea from the digital world takes us on a simulated journey into a truly mind-bending question. Could our entire future already be loading into our awareness, just like a video stream?
It's funny how that everyday thing, digital buffering, how it connects with some really profound ideas that keep popping up in physics, philosophy, even computer science, stuff from those anonymous sources you shared.
Exactly.
So we're basically on this simulated journey, right? Exploring if the future is something we're, actively building.
So something that's already there.
Yeah, already exists, and it's just sort of gradually being revealed to us, frame by frame.
Okay. And to help us navigate this potentially predetermined terrain, we've plugged into some incredible anonymous sources. We're talking physics, philosophy, sci-fi, even brain science.
A real mix.
And the core question we're grappling with today is, well, it's a big one. Is our life experience kind of like moving through a vast video game world, one that's already been fully rendered?
Where the next event, the next challenge is already set.
And we're just experiencing it as it unfolds.
And if you connect this to the bigger picture, like some of those sources did, the implications are just enormous. We're talking about the very nature of time itself.
Is it flowing like a river or something else?
Exactly. Or something else entirely. And it forces us to confront free will. Are our choices really ours?
Or just like illusions, clever illusions in a system that's already totally determined.
It really gets to the heart of themes we often explore here on the NPC Energy Podcast, doesn't it? Simulation, glitches.
Yeah. Are those weird moments just tricks of the mind? Or something more?
Let's find out.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting with an idea that sounds straight out of sci-fi, but it's actually from serious physics and philosophy, the block universe theory.
Right, the block universe. What's compelling about it, and it came up in one of your physics articles, is how much it challenges our gut feeling about time.
Our everyday intuition.
Yeah. Instead of past gone, present fleeting, future yet to be, it proposes all moments in time, past, present, future. They're all equally real.
And they exist simultaneously.
That's the idea, all at once.
So it's like all of time is just there. That's hard to wrap my head around.
It is, but think about it like this. One of your philosophy sources touched on it. Einstein's relativity showed space and time aren't separate.
Not intertwined. Space-time.
Exactly, space-time. The block universe takes that further. It imagines space-time as this giant four-dimensional block containing everything. All events happen or will happen.
So the flow of time we feel
might just be our consciousness moving through this block sequentially. Like a laser reading a Blu-ray disc.
Ah, the cosmic Blu-ray. I like that. So every frame of reality, from the Big Bang to, I don't know, what I'm doing next Tuesday, it's already on the disc.
Yeah, precisely. In this model, the future isn't just possibilities. It's already a fixed, real part of the block, just as real as the past.
So our experience of time is just us hitting those points in order.
We're just encountering these pre-existing events in a certain sequence. If the block universe is right, then every moment, good or bad, isn't just a memory, it's eternally present.
Wow, that does redefine things. Losing the past, waiting for the future, it's different.
Very different.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, though. If the future is already on the disk, doesn't that mean everything is predetermined, like automatically?
That's the unavoidable implication.
Our choices, mistakes, even that embarrassing thing I said yesterday was all just part of the movie? Fixed.
That's the huge philosophical takeaway and a major point in one of those texts you shared. The block universe strongly suggests a deterministic view. The future isn't potential.
It's actual.
It's actual. Our journey through time in this view is just revealing a structure that's already complete, unchangeable.
Okay, so maybe the universe is like a giant, unchangeable movie, but what if it's more like a video game we're all playing? That came up in some online discussions you sent over. Let's dive into the simulation hypothesis.
Right, the simulation hypothesis. It gives us a similar kind of predetermined reality idea, but with a fascinating twist.
Instead of just physics.
Yeah, instead of the laws of physics naturally leading to this fixed future, it suggests our reality could be artificial, like a really advanced computer simulation.
Running on some crazy powerful machine somewhere.
Exactly. Unfathomably powerful.
Right, the classic, are we living in the Matrix question. And one article mentioned Nick Bostrom's argument.
Yes, Bostrom.
Yeah.
He argued that if civilizations usually reach a tech level where they can create super realistic simulations of their ancestors,
Simulations you couldn't tell from reality.
right, then statistically it's way more likely we're in one of those simulations than being the original, base reality.
He laid out a few possibilities, didn't he? Like either civilizations wipe themselves out first,
Or they lose interest in making these sims.
or, yeah, we're already inside one.
That's Bostrom's trilemma, basically. And people who like the simulation hypothesis often point to those weird moments we sometimes have.
Glitches.
Yeah, uncanny coincidences, weird quantum physics stuff, synchronicities that feel too meaningful. They see them as potential glitches in the simulation, like software bugs.
Like thinking of someone you haven't seen in years and then bumping into them. Or those odd results in physics labs.
Exactly. Are those just cracks in the code? People wonder.
And if it is a simulation, that implies there's some underlying code or script, right?
Yes. Which brings us back to our buffering idea. Events might just unfold according to pre-programmed parameters.
Like an NPC in a game following its path.
Precisely. The future, in that case, could be pre-calculated by the simulators, effectively buffering into our awareness as the simulation runs its course.
Which then makes you wonder, okay, if we're in the simulation, how did we get here? And are we the players making real choices?
Or are we just incredibly sophisticated NPCs thinking we're choosing, but really just following our programming?
That's a bit unsettling.
It raises really big questions about consciousness, about agency. If every thought, every action is dictated by the code, are we truly sentient? Do we have free will?
Or are we just complex algorithms running predetermined functions?
It's a deep question.
Okay, so universe has a movie, universe has a game server. But what if those glitches aren't cosmic hints, but just our own brains doing weird things? Let's look at the psychology and neuroscience angles.
That's absolutely crucial to consider. One of the articles you shared really dug into this. While the big theories are intriguing, block universe, simulation, neuroscience offers more immediate, maybe more plausible explanations for those glitchy feelings.
Things like déjà vu. That super weird feeling you've been somewhere before, even though you know you haven't.
Exactly. Or those moments where you think you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, what's the science say about déjà vu?
Well, research suggests it might be slight delays in neural signaling. The brain processes info twice very quickly, and the second time feels like a memory.
Huh.
Or maybe minor glitches in the temporal lobe, the part of the brain heavily involved in memory, little processing errors.
Okay. And what about feeling like you can predict things? Precognition.
Often that feeling comes down to our brains being amazing at unconsciously picking up subtle cues, things we don't even notice consciously.
So our brains are pattern matching constantly.
Constantly. And sometimes they pick up tiny indicators that point to an outcome, giving you that hunch that turns out right.
Plus, we remember the hits and forget the misses, right? Confirmation bias.
Definitely. We remember the time the prediction came true and forget the 99 times it didn't.
What about synchronicity? Those meaningful coincidences.
A lot of that can be chalked up to probability. So many things happen, statistically, some weird coincidences are bound to occur.
And we're wired to see patterns.
Exactly. That's apophenia. We see meaning in randomness, especially if we're already looking for it due to confirmation bias.
So maybe it's just our brains doing interpretive dances, not reality hiccuping. But that feeling of the future buffering, is there a brain reason for that too?
Interestingly, yes. Our brains use predictive processing models. They're constantly guessing what happens next based on past experience and current input.
Like autocomplete for reality?
Sort of, and when the prediction matches what happens, it feels familiar, coherent, maybe even like it was expected or known.
And if the prediction is off,
Oh,
or weirdly spot on,
mismatches, or even strong matches, could create that subjective feeling of a reality buffer, or a strange glimpse of the immediate future, even if it's all just internal brain workings.
okay, so our brains are future guessing machines. Let's loop back to the buffering idea using more tech analogies. I find those really help make this stuff less abstract.
Absolutely. They give us a good framework. Think about streaming video again. Your device preloads data, right, for smooth playback.
The buffer.
Could reality work like that? Preloading the very near future just before we consciously experience it.
And if that buffer gets interrupted, corrupted, maybe that's when we feel those weird temporal stutters.
That's the idea behind the analogy. Or think about loading screens in games. Those pauses while the next level or area loads
Right.
Maybe big life transitions, major changes, unexpected events are like cosmic loading screens. The next phase of reality is being prepared behind the scenes.
Huh. Like my messy breakup was just a really long loading screen for the next level. Funny thought.
Maybe. And think about how games actually build their worlds. Pre-rendering.
Yeah, they calculate stuff in advance.
Right. Parts of the environment, character paths, calculated beforehand to improve performance. That sounds a lot like the block universe, doesn't it? The level already exists, we just move through it.
And that links to our NPC ENERGY idea, too.
Totally. The predictable behavior of non-player characters, their set routines, it's an analogy for human patterns or events that seem to follow a script.
So maybe that guy who orders the exact same complicated coffee every single morning is just stuck in his NPC loop.
It's a humorous way to see it, but yeah, it highlights patterns. And then there's lag in online games.
Oh, yeah. Definitely felt that.
Maybe moments of confusion, déjà vu.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's reality lag, the system stutters rendering the present. Maybe giving us a weird sense of what's buffered or what was supposed to happen.
It really helps find a relatable language, doesn't it? For this potential gap between how we feel reality and how it might actually be structured.
Precisely. These analogies let us tentatively grasp that our perception might be, well, curated, or maybe slightly delayed, a feed from a reality structured in ways we don't fully get.
Now, it wouldn't be the NPC Energy podcast if we didn't talk pop culture. How have movies, TV, games tackled this buffering future idea?
Oh, pop culture has been all over these concepts for ages, giving us great thought experiments, making these abstract ideas more, tangible, emotional.
The Matrix has to be the first stop, right? Total simulated reality, pre-programmed.
Absolutely. The Matrix is the classic example. Most humans are in a pre-scripted program. Neo and others can bend the rules, but the base system is predetermined.
And Arrival had that really unique take on non-linear time.
Yes. By learning the alien language, the protagonist experiences time non-linearly past, present, future, all at once, kind of.
But her choices still mattered.
That's a fascinating part. Even knowing the future, her choices felt significant. It suggests maybe foreknowledge and free will can coexist, in a way.
The Minority Report. Using precogs to stop crimes before they happen.
Yeah.
That really throws a wrench into choice.
Totally. The whole movie asks, is the future the precogs see absolutely fixed, or does knowing it let you change it? It hits determinism head on.
And that showed devs. Didn't that explicitly use a block universe model simulated by a quantum computer?
That's right. Devs went hard on determinism. The future wasn't just predictable, it was set. Unalterable. Free will was just an illusion of the simulation. Every decision, just output.
Westworld, too, with the android hosts waking up in their scripts.
Westworld brilliantly explores if real agency, real free will can emerge from programming. Can you break free from your loop? Big questions about programming versus self-determination.
Even games like BioShock. That "would you kindly" twist was mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah. Such a clever meta-commentary. You think you have player freedom, but nope, you were manipulated all along. It questions agency even in interactive settings.
So these stories aren't just entertainment. They're like visualizing the implications. What would a buffering future actually feel like?
Exactly. They're safe spaces to explore the consequences. What happens to us, to choice, if the future is known or scripted. The fact these themes are everywhere shows we're collectively fascinated by it.
Which brings us right back to the core issue. Free will versus determinism. If the future is buffered, are we main characters controlling our destiny?
Or are we just background code? NPCs running a pre-written program.
Yeah. That's the fundamental philosophical fight, isn't it? If we seriously consider a predetermined future, are we authors or actors?
Precisely. Playing out roles in a story already written.
So for anyone maybe not deep into philosophy, what's determinism again in this context?
Basically, determinism says all events, including our thoughts, choices, actions, are caused by prior events plus the laws of nature. Nothing happens without a prior cause.
So no room for ultimate free will, like being the absolute origin of a choice.
In true determinism, no. If the future is buffered because physics dictates everything, our choices are just links in an unbroken chain, cause and effect all the way down.
But then there's compatibilism, trying to find a middle way.
Exactly. Compatibilists try to make free will and determinism, well, compatible. They argue you can have meaningful free will even if the universe is deterministic.
How does that work?
The idea is free will exists when you act on your own conscious desires without external force, even if those desires themselves were ultimately caused. Think Arrival again, she knows the future, but navigating it still feels like her choice.
Okay. And the other side is libertarian free will.
Right. Libertarians insist on indeterminism. For a choice to be really free, you must have been able to genuinely choose differently, given the exact same past circumstances.
Which clashes hard with the block universe, or a strong simulation hypothesis.
Big time. Those models suggest the future is either already there or fully determined, leaving little room for that kind of could have done otherwise freedom.
So this idea of a buffered future seems to push us towards either determinism or maybe compatibilism, where we feel free, but the outcome might be set anyway.
That seems to be the direction it points. The subjective feeling of choosing is powerful, real to us. But the underlying reality, if it's buffered, might mean the overall path is already laid out, just waiting to unfold from the buffer.
Okay, let's get really speculative. If the future is buffered somehow, could we ever hack it, perceive it, interact, maybe even change it?
Right now we're really pushing into the speculative zone, blurring lines between theory, philosophy, sci-fi, maybe wishful thinking too.
Could those gut feelings, premonitions, could they be actual glimpses into the buffer?
It's a really tempting idea, isn't it? Fits with personal experiences many people have. Maybe intuition is like momentary access to that preloaded future data.
Like in Arrival, it was language. Minority Report, it was genetics.
Could there be other ways? Deep meditation? Future neurotech? Who knows? It's pure speculation.
What about the glitches? Could we learn to spot them, exploit them, like speedrunners finding bugs in games?
That's a cool analogy. If reality has lag or bugs,
Yeah.
could understanding the underlying code physics or simulation parameters let us interact differently? Maybe even trigger or use those glitches.
But would we be changing the future itself? Or just how we navigate it? Like in devs, the future was fixed.
But maybe you could still choose your response, your path through it.
Yeah.
That's a key distinction. Maybe hacking the buffer isn't about changing an immutable future, but navigating it with more awareness. Acceptance, maybe? Choosing your reaction.
Which sounds kind of like compatibilism or even stoicism. Control your response, not the event.
Exactly. It emphasizes internal agency, even if external events are set.
And if it is a simulation, hacking could be more literal.
Potentially. Like Neo in The Matrix. Interacting with the code, finding the rules, pushing the boundaries, maybe unlocking abilities not normally possible in the Sims physics.
It's also wild to think about. Is the buffer just passive storage? Or an active system with loopholes?
That really is the ultimate question here, isn't it? And honestly, the answer is way beyond us right now. Is knowing about potential predetermination a curse? Powerlessness? Or could it be a tool?
A different way to engage with reality.
Maybe. Does it depend if the buffer is just sitting there or if it's dynamic with hidden possibilities? Deep questions.
So just to quickly recap our simulated journey into this buffering future idea, we looked at the block universe from physics
The simulation hypothesis from philosophy and computing.
and the brain science explanations for those glitchy feelings,
Plus, how analogies from tech and gaming help us visualize it all.
and how pop culture constantly explores these themes of fate, choice, and reality.
Yeah, it's a rich tapestry.
And while our gut feeling might scream open future, these frameworks offer some pretty compelling arguments for a reality that might be more fixed or scripted than we think.
And those moments we call glitches or see NPC behavior, whether they're brain quirks or something deeper, they keep fueling our fascination with what reality actually is, especially as these ideas echo through our stories.
Ultimately, whether the future is set in stone or wide open, that remains one of the biggest mysteries, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and that feeling of buffering. Maybe it's just our predictive brains, maybe it's space-time itself, maybe something else entirely we haven't even imagined yet.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on after this simulated journey ends. Regardless of how the universe actually works, whether our paths are laid out or unfolding, does our subjective experience still matter?
Our search for meaning, the connections we make.
Yeah. Does it really change the value of those things if we find out we're a main character forging our own path? Or maybe just a small but vital piece of background code, as long as the story feels real and meaningful to us.